means a lot. You know, like what the veterans have done, it puts us in this position to be able to play hockey, play the game I love. So credit to them, and I'm very thankful for everything.
It's obviously pretty special for all those. You know, I feel like we're all pretty lucky. Some of us, we don't always take the time to kind of realize it and take a moment to actually think about it. But I mean, when you look back in the day, people our own age were going to war, so it's pretty amazing that we got the opportunity to even be here and playing. So you know, it was pretty nice to get a win on a big day like this.
It's nice to honor our veterans. It's too bad it wasn't a little closer to November 11th, but it was nice to be able to do and support those people that give us the freedom that we have.
Yeah, it means everything. I mean, I can probably count on my hand how many games they've missed in my whole life, other than when I was out playing junior, but they still made it to probably 20 plus games. So it means everything. I mean, I love my family. I have a huge family and a lot of family friends who come to the game. So it's probably best case scenario for picking a school, having my family close like that. So it means everything to me.
Yeah, Lumbo's been great. He had one of the back checks I mentioned. He's one of the ones I talked about. So he's just he's an outstanding young man, high character. He's one of our captains. He's been excellent all season.
So many people are affected by it. If you're not personally, you know people that are, and so it sucks. And it's anything you can do to help raise awareness and help raise money is obviously huge. Well,
obviously it's important that everybody contributes to that. I lost my father to cancer, so. But I thought the point was really good. He had a goal tonight. Like, I know he's had a tough go of it. He's an outstanding player, and he's still got a little ways to come back. I will say this about him too. Like, I think he has 5 career goals. They might all be against Quinnipiac, literally. If you guys want to look that up, I think they're all against us.
4 of his 5.
Oh, 4 of his 5. It's unbelievable. He's just a machine against us. So we got to do a better job of shutting him down. But I give him credit. He's battling, and we wish him all the best. He's a warrior. He fits well on that line. Philion's done a great job on that line, but I think Philly and Telly, they play well together. And again, did I know they were going to have 2 goals tonight? No, but if you go back to one of our best games of the year was the 6-2 win in North Dakota. Our best line that night were the Christophs and Victor. And so we reunited them, and I thought they could give us some energy tonight, and they did.
For me, I was playing with Christoph Filion. I think we have good chemistry, and then Victor Chicken Arrow on that line, so we just try to keep it simple, move our feet, and I think that's what we do best. And got a couple goals, and it's just happy to help the team win tonight. He's a big-time goalie, Richter finalist, Hobie Baker finalist. He was excellent, as we expect him to be every night. I thought we did a nice job in front of him. In the end, defensively, we defend usually because we have the puck. We didn't do a good enough job with that. We got to go play more offense and win more puck battles and probably clean up our puck management a little bit and play a little bit better offensively. But we found a way. Guys were blocking shots. The penalty kill was excellent. So yeah, we move on.
Matthew Mugno, QBSN. Ryan, what are some things you learned from your last trips to the national championship final?
I think it's the same thing that any coach knows when you get in Game 7s, because that's really what it is. It's goaltending, it's special teams, and a bounce here or there. You got to get lucky with a good bounce, or unlucky, or avoid the bad bounce. It's no different than game.
All 3 of you, there's so many family members of yours that have been around, not only just immediate family members, but extended friends. What does it mean to be able to see them after this? I know you haven't seen them that haven't even really enjoyed the moment yet, but what does it mean to have that support and have that support now to go back to?
Jacob?
Yeah, I mean, my brother came, supported me. He's my biggest fan. I was pretty emotional seeing him in the stands, but I mean, even there's a lot of other family that have support from me. The Hankies, Mom, the Altmans. It's been great. There's support up and down the lineup from everyone.
Christoph?
I've got a lot of family here. I got my best buddy here, my family, but it's been great to be honest. Everybody's supporting us, school, our family, our friends, alumni, everybody. We felt the support from everybody, and it really helped us. And yeah, it's unbelievable having them support us.
Zach?
It means the world. I got a lot of family here. My mom, my brother, family that flew in from Colorado, Minnesota. So the Minnesota family were a little twisted on who to root for, but yeah, I mean, their support means the world. You can't do it without a good network around you, and I'm very fortunate to have that.
Individual young players, what's impressed you the most about Brendan Alpern locally?
I think he's a young player that's working and past getting bumped and not coming out for a minute, but I think he's working and trying to put himself in a position. He's trying to show what he can do offensively. I noticed physicality the other night, trying to work hard, trying to make an impact, like everybody, to show what they can do inside of training camp. So I understand his past and what he's done, and there's a process that goes with that to becoming an NHL player, and he's in that process right now. And so he's getting opportunities. He'll continue to get opportunities to show what he can do. Piggyback.
I ask about lineups, like what the lines are looking like. You mentioned you have those days, about a week after the games, and are you looking for things, like looking for any lines that gel, or are you looking for chemistry?
I think yes and no. If something wasn't completely on point last night that I was looking at, that doesn't mean that I think you throw it out the window. I thought that inside of some of the things we were looking at, I thought that Gustafsson and Schneider were a really good pair together. And so that doesn't mean that that's set in stone or glue either. It just leaves me coming away from the game saying, okay, that pair played well together. And so I don't think you hang your hat either way. I don't think that it'll be set in stone and say, okay, on game one, this is it, this is where we are for the year. I think things move all the time, and they certainly move based on injury and whatever else might come into play on any given day.
What are your thoughts on Ryan Lindgren and Mark Goodrow? They're two players that are kind of hard-nosed.
Yeah.
They do a lot of the smaller things.
Yeah.
What are your impressions of those two?
Really good in the sense of what you said. They do a lot of heavy lifting and heavy work, and there's been others out here too that are trying to make that same impression in camp with how they played the game. I thought Pitlick played a really good game like that the other night. He was kind of a bull in a china shop and just plowing forward and banging bodies and winning battles. And even some of the younger players are making noise. I know Rempe had to fight, but the way he's physical and he's heavy on the body, and Edstrom can play that way once in a while, and it's been good to see that from different players, and I think we need that too.
What do you see as the identity of that third line with Will Cooley, Vincent Trocheck, and Blake Wheeler?
Again, I think that these lines are, again, 3 games in. I think they're still trying to work out their identity and figure it out. But I see him as a responsible line. Like Will's a young player. I haven't seen anything defense. There's always something, right, defensively, where you're coaching, whatever. But there hasn't been these type moments with Will. He's done a really good job of playing defense and using his size and his power and his physicality and his speed to play good defense and to try and generate offense. I think he's done a good job. I talked about Trocheck already, and I think Blake is, I think he's a guy that's proven through time here that he could be a real important part of a line, just with his skill, his ability, his size, and you'd like to see that chemistry continue to evolve with the lines. And so, there won't be much for change in tomorrow's game with how we're going to go about it.
Impressed with how the teams responded and bounced back from traveling out to Minnesota. You talked about that this morning following the long road trip. You lose a center, you lose a defenseman. Are you impressed with how the teams responded to all of those?
Yeah, I mean, everybody can feel it. I mean, if you're on that trip, if you guys traveled on that trip, you'd feel it. You'd come back from that and you'd be like, oof, we didn't do anything. Coaches feel like that. We didn't do a damn thing out there, you know what I mean? But the players, they actually have to go grind through the game, and it was a tough one. And like I said, we got that sneaky Minnesota trip stuck in there too, and it was good. It was nice to come back and get a day off. It was nice to have a practice and just kind of reset, which was the whole purpose, just kind of reset and get ready for tonight, and try to do the same thing tomorrow, just reset and get ready.
In that playoff environment, like what's it like to play in the Garden? How is it different?
It's amazing. It was fun when I was on the road. One of the buildings that I love playing. So it's gonna be great to play for the home crowd this time around. It was pretty hard when we were in the playoffs and they were against me. So it's nice to have them on my side this time.
Have you dealt with an injury of this term prior to your NHL career?
No, never really missed any time. So. Yeah, this was a first, and like I said, just happy it wasn't any longer than it.
On the defensive side of the puck, is it difficult to do that when the lineup is inconsistent?
The lineup's been fairly consistent despite the injuries. I mean, it's not to the point of what Larry's asking. It's not like Jones came in and moved up and played with Trouba. Like Jones and Schneider had played together before and played well, and they do a lot of good things out there, and there's things that we'd like to, you know, continue to work with them and see improvement. But in the forwards, the same thing. There's been very little movement, and so I feel like there has been stability with that. Even when a game hasn't gone our way, we address things. I'd like to give it another chance to see. In most games, they've responded with playing the right way, and so I don't think there's been a lot of movement. And I think that can help at times. If we need to move it, we will. But I think that the guys have recognized an off night and come back with the same exact group or the same exact lines, and we've been able to play the right way and find ourselves win. So really hasn't been a lot of reason for me to move it.
Come back, you want to just keep it simple. You don't want to mess up any flow or rhythm, and I think that's what I've been trying to do. Obviously, just slowly build into, you know, reading and seeing my chances to go, and you know, you don't want to be an idiot out there at first when you come back and be jumping in, and that's not the right time. So I think for me, just been slowly trying to play smart and you know, slowly just build back those reads and when to go and when not to go. You know, obviously you come back, you want to just keep it simple.
Chesterkin made some big saves in overtime. How important was this game for his confidence?
I think he's pretty confident. I mean, he's played well the last few games, really well. He's a world-class goalie, and so. But it is nice to, you know, that game was dangling on a string for either team, and there was a couple of chances and over. He made some great saves, but there was a couple of really nice saves in the overtime that gave us an opportunity to continue to push inside of the overtime and get the extra point. So, you know, he's right on point right now.
Another guy who stands out.
Does having as versatile of a fourth line as you have allow you to do other things during the game?
Yeah, I mean, at home especially, it's easier to try and find some matchups that you're looking for on the bench. They've done a really good job. You know, they've been given a responsibility, and I think that they've done a good job. They're playing hard, and you know, they're physical. They're dragging, you know, top lines that want to play in the offensive zone to the defensive zone and making them play there. And so I thought they played a good game tonight.
Is it nice to have the line a little more healthy? You know, that Jacob didn't go down or doesn't have a long-term injury?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So it's you know, we're status quo from where we were, and but you know, it's you know, he did leave the game, so to have him back participating in full today was good.
When we're trust, like 3 or 4 times in my conversation with him, he's no spring chicken. What was the conversation like? He was kind of a journeyman coming in, joining the team, and with what his role would be this season and how that line has gelled.
Well, I think having a line like we put together presents an opportunity, and then from there they have to go out and do the right things and play the game the right way. There's some physicality to it. There's some defense. There's decision making. There's a lot of work that goes into it, playing against other teams, you know, higher end players. And I think these guys have done a really good job. And so last night I think they caught almost every shift against the Strome line, and I thought they played a heck of a game. They did exactly what they were supposed to do out there. Not only that, they dragged them into the offensive zone, and they created a lot of good looks and chances too. I wish some of those would drop for them because they're working really hard. But at the end of the day, they did their job again last night.
What is the confidence coming in another back-to-back? Do you think the conditioning of a few back-to-backs now will help the team in another set? Or is it just something that's a challenge every time you have a game in the half?
I think they're a little bit of a challenge. You know, some of them, probably more than half of the back-to-backs, the other teams played the night before too, so I always think it's a little bit more of a challenge. But then again, you know, we haven't responded really well when we're playing the team that when we're rested, and the team that we're playing was not. We haven't played our best in those games, so I don't know. I'm gonna go. Let's go one at a time and go to Florida and take on the first game and hopefully do, like I said, do the right things. We know we're playing a good team, and then we'll wake up the next day and we'll.
Tampa, like, what are you expecting in those games?
They're both really fast, powerful offensive teams. They both know how to win games, so it's going to be a tough test for us. I think we just need to make sure that we're paying attention to detail. doing the right things defensively.
Obviously, it's been a few years since you've been in Florida, but what do you know about the organization and culture down there with their team?
It's a completely different organization than it was whenever I was there. Ownership's the same. Loved Vinny and Teresa. They're great people, really good to me, and they've helped turn this organization into what it is today. And from a coaching and management standpoint, it's a lot different. I mean, nobody that was there when I was there is there now. Just a few players, Barkov and Ekblad are the only two players that are there. Great hockey players. Barkey was a phenomenal leader. Ek's one of the better defensemen in the league, so that team's come a long way, and I definitely enjoyed my time there, and looking forward to going back and playing them tomorrow.
What do you guys know looking ahead to those games?
From the bullpen in the organization, have you been impressed with how deep it is? You talked about playing Johnny Brodzinski in a position where he's comfortable, like the position he plays at the American League level. Is that something you've been impressed by now that you've had a number of players come up and succeed at the NHL level?
I think our affiliate down in Hartford and the coaches have done a really good job supporting us with players to be ready to play, recommending the players that we need and the players that are playing well for them to come up, and then it's just about filling the holes and filling the spots inside of our team. But I do think that the guys that have come up have played well. I thought that Brendan played a really good game last night. He was noticeable with the puck, with his speed, creating, and so that's a real positive first game for him. When we called Edstrom up, I thought he came in, and his size and his speed and his physicality, he's able to chip in a goal there late in the game. I thought he had a real good showing as well, so it's nice that these players can come up and be inserted into the lineup and be effective for us.
To that point, bringing another 20-something-year-old player onto the roster, you're able to succeed. Is that in part because of the veteran leadership that's here to show them the ropes? There's a lot of young players on the roster, so coming in, kind of bouncing off of what Vin said, into a team knowing that there was a lot of veteran leaders, does that help usher in younger players no matter who they are?
I think it can if the environment is right and the culture is right, and the veteran players are good players that want to help these young kids. You think of Will Cooley and his relationship with Trocheck and how he extended him his guidance for a young player coming into the league in his first year. And then when players do come up, I think our veteran players do a really good job of making sure that these guys are comfortable in the right place to succeed.
How important of a litmus is it for you for the team to be in a game that's so back and forth, running, John?
Yeah, well, that's their game. We knew it was coming. I think they're top 3 teams in the league on the rush. They're dangerous, and they showed it tonight. I thought our guys did a good job of handling that. I think that you have to be able to play the game that's dealt. If you're going to find success in the regular season to get to the playoffs and then try to find it there, you have to be able to play the game that's being dealt, and still try to execute your game. Sometimes they're fast, sometimes they're physical, sometimes they're grinding, sometimes they're specialty teams, and you kind of know it going into the game just based on the pre-scout.
Does having as versatile of a fourth line as you have allow you to do other things during the game?
Yeah, at home especially, it's easier to try and find some matchups that you're looking for on the bench. They've done a really good job. They've been given a responsibility, and I think that they've done a good job. They're playing hard, and they're physical. They're dragging top lines that want to play in the offensive zone to the defensive zone and making them play there. And so I thought they played a good game tonight. Thank you.
week, and they're here for a reason. But at the same time, we gotta play our game. I feel like if we do what we do best, then we're gonna have a good chance to be playing on Saturday. So it's gonna be a battle. They're a really good team, but we're a really good team too.
Yeah, I think you know, a couple of guys played for Rand at the World Juniors and know a little bit about him and what he's all about. But I think at the end of the day, it's about you know, what we do and how Michigan plays. And, you know, so we're just gonna prepare like it's any other team and be ready to go.
And deciding what you want to do when you know that they're just as good on the other side.
Sam, you want to answer this? The same way we do with every team. Here's what they do, here's what they're good at, here's where we can expose them, and then we're never going to change what we do. We're going to do it our way. There's just different options inside of situations or structure that our guys know. So we've been preparing to play different styles of game all year, and depending on whether we're playing Penn State, Minnesota, Michigan State, or BU, or whoever, we know what we need to do, and then there's little areas of the game that we put a little more focus on to expose the other team. Okay.
A lot of people are sitting down, so anybody who thought we pulled the goalie at the right time, please stand up.
seem normal for me.
What's that?
Kreider got off the ice like 3 minutes ago.